All right, we are live. It is December 24th, Christmas Eve, if you're celebrating Christmas. You got Jeff and Dave with the team here. We just had an awesome Master Chat. We got the Santa tracker up. It is so much more important to us that we made it bigger than the two of us. And we're ready to do a little bit of recap on this Master Chat. We're going to talk about some of the traps being set at Dave's house, I think. Possibly chat about and share with Dave on how he was the topic of discussion in the chat, which was fun. And look for your comments and have a little bit of fun here. So thanks for hanging out. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Dave, I'm sorry. You were about ready to say something right when I hit the music.
I was like, it's Santa. It's Santa. And then all of a sudden, whatever, I was able to rock out too. So it's all good.
Yeah, it's Santa. I know him. We already got comments flowing. If you're watching, first of all, thank you. Love the fact, just so honored that you're spending any time with us right now. This is so cool. But please drop a comment. Let us know what's going on, where you're at. And if you were in the chat, let us know what you thought about the chat too. Ray is here. She's super excited about Santa. Ray was texting us hours ago with updates on the Santa tracker. So, thanks for that. Megan's here. Megan, great to see you. Good to see you in the chat. Megan was all over the chat tonight. Livia was running actually the team account tonight and chatting as herself, which was awesome. I want to say Keisha, I think it is, with some really awesome answers in the chat, some really cool stuff. Just some traditions and stuff coming from her tonight. Megan loves the jammies. I love them too. I thought I was being all cool with I got my Christmas sweater on, but Dave showed up full out Christmas jammies, which is just super cool. Yes, Brad, it's really me. Santa, this is Santa's actual official hat. He's a Cleveland Browns fan. It's just the way it is. We are tracking. So where is he at right now, Dave? He's in Greenland.
He's somewhere between Iceland and Canada. So Brad Hughes, get to sleep here, buddy. He's coming for you.
He's on his way to Brad. Oh, that's right. Oh, I wonder, Brad, are you guys ready to go? I apologize. I did it again, Dave. I didn't jump in our group, so I'm not seeing some of the comments, and I'm horrible for that. I apologize. Because we have a lot of people jumping in here and saying hello again and again here. Oh, man. Ray's mom and dad say hi.
Jim and Julie, hi.
Jim, Julie, awesome. Good to see you. Happy Hanukkah to all of you there. That was Ryan. Ryan Reed's in here. Ryan, good to see you, brother. Brad, you're right, man. The chat really was fire. That was we're gonna get into that, but first thing I said, one of the first things I said to Dave was, I'm like, it was active. I wasn't really sure. You never know. It's on a holiday like this, but holy cow, did our community bring it tonight? It was there. Ray saying some nonsense like you are always cool. Our buddy in here, good. Merry Christmas to you too, sir. Always good to see you, friend. Brad, always great to see you here. Brad's going to bed. And the true reason why we all celebrate today is actually this gentleman right here. He says, Merry Christmas Eve, boys. This is really Merry Hans' birthday. So if you don't know, if you haven't already, please jump in the comments, hit him up on Twitter. Please wish Hans a very, very happy and Merry Christmas. 23 years old today. 23 years old. Dave, can you believe that? He's grown so fast.
The closer your birthday is to Christmas, the more amazing you are. So Hans, that's why he's killing it right there. He's awesome. Pretty
accurate, yeah. That's Nikki. Nikki joining us. She missed the chat, but she's popping in because she heard there was something we were giving away. But that's not actually. This is different. Nikki always wins stuff. Anyway, so Dave, I want to talk about the chat. So the chat, I really want to ask you about the traps, but let's do. We're supposed to be talking about the chat, so we're gonna bring it back here. So this was super cool. When it's on a holiday like this, or on Christmas Eve, or on Thanksgiving, or anything like that, you never know what it's gonna, what's gonna show up, how active it's gonna be. It was super active tonight, and it was a really good chat. And I've said this a million times before in the past. And one of the things that I love most about Master Chat is that you have all these educators who have worked all day long and gone through who knows what and dealt with who knows what, and they still jump on for an hour to try and learn and grow and support each other and connect with other people and stuff. I still say that tonight, like on a holiday when there's so much going on, we're all trying to figure out what does life look like, what does the holiday looks like in a virtual world, and we're trying to get things wrapped. We're probably maybe still buying some things. Who knows what's going on? And yet we still had an amazing group of people who showed up tonight, and really had a really great discussion. So it was really a blast. I'm really just honored by that. It's such a cool thing. It amazes me every Thursday night when we have people coming in here and putting in the time to grow and to help each other grow. That's just such a cool thing. So if you were in the chat, I really appreciate you. Even if you weren't in the chat and you're here, I still appreciate you. Danielle, good to see you.
I'm sorry, Jeff, were you talking? I've just been watching Santa. I apologize.
Yeah, I know. It's really distracting. Kristen, good to see you. Great to see you there, Kristen. I'm so glad you jumped in. Yeah, I know.
Your point, Jeff. I can just echo what you just said completely. Like the community, the Teach Better community is just absolutely amazing. And for people on Christmas Eve, a Thursday night, whether they're celebrating Christmas or not, they're on some sort of break. This is a time just to sit back, relax a little bit, pulling out their phones, pulling out their laptops, whatever the case may be, just to engage in a conversation with people for an hour. It's mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Before we went on, I went through and I was scrolling through a bunch of the messages I thought, okay, it'll be 5 minutes, just a quick little review. Oh my gosh, there are literally hundreds of tweets tonight. It's powerful.
It was busy. Awesome. It was great, and just in some really good conversations. Like people really, we talked about this on the brain break. I talk about like how I'm working through my 10-year vision, something that I do, and I believe in this. I don't like waiting until January 1st, all that stuff. But one of the things that I said is that, like, that doesn't mean I'm right. That just means it's for me, right? That's how it works for me. You have your whiteboard thing. It's really intimidating to some people. In fact, it came up in the chat that it causes some people anxiety. But it works for you, and that's the thing. And what I really love is that there were several people in the chat who weren't afraid to say, hey, I don't necessarily agree with the 10-year vision thing. I don't know if it's going to work for me. And I love that because I'm like, this is just what I think. This is just a resource that I hope might help someone. But if it's not the right fit for you, then it shouldn't be the right fit for you. Whatever works. If resolutions work for you, then that's what you should do. If planning now and hitting the ground running on January 1 is the thing that works for you, then that's what you should be doing. If it doesn't, then you jump in that chat and find there's so many resources and ideas and different ways that people think through things. There's something there that you can pull out and grow from. So that was a really cool thing for me.
The Teach Better team is not about cut and paste, just take what somebody else does and throw it into your world and your environment. The tagline I've been saying a lot lately is it's all about getting the car moving. You can't steer apart cars. So I love how you just throw things out there, you start driving and let people shift it where they need to go. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And also some really great, one of the questions I talked about was with, I mentioned the 10-year vision and thinking through that. And, a lot of people, even if they said, I haven't done that or I don't do that, some people, mentioned that they do like a 5-year or 3-year or just a 1 year. But a lot of people then also shared like kind of the things that they were thinking of at the moment for 10 years out. And like, it was just awesome to just see some of the ideas and the goals that they have and both connected to like their personal life, to what they want to be doing professionally, what they want to do for others. It was just a really cool moment, a really cool experience in chat. So I was happy with that. Very, very happy with that. So
yeah. And I love how the questions were really all about this personal introspection that you have to do, because even like the 10-year vision thing, in 10 years we could all be sitting around driving flying cars. Who knows? We have no idea what the world is going to look like in 10 years, but the thing we can control is ourselves. So every single question has led to, how are you going to work on becoming better, whether it's 10 years from now or next year or next week or tomorrow. That's what it's all about, looking yourself in the mirror and saying, how are you going to grow? And the questions, the responses that I was just reading and going through, everybody was resonating with that and just wanting to go out there and get better. And that's what this community is all about. That's why people show up every single week, is this quest to constantly get better. So impressive.
And that's one of my favorite things is like that 10-year vision or a 5-year vision, 3-year vision, 1-year goal, whatever. Though, like the purpose isn't actually to hit the goal. The purpose isn't actually to necessarily get there in 10 years. The actual purpose of doing this and going through this and creating this thing is actually to work on becoming the version of yourself that can get there. Now, you may not become that version in 10 years. You might become that version in 15 and not hit the vision that you're pitching until 2025. Or maybe you never will, but because of the growth trying to become that person, you can then become better and things that happen. I like 10-year, we talked about this at the brain break, because it's far enough out where it doesn't have to happen right now. Like, yeah. I can take the time to think about it. I can also allow myself to dream bigger because it's far enough out. But you mentioned like this, the self-reflection piece. One of the very first pieces or parts, steps of that 10-year vision plan, or at least the way in which I do it, and this is also the way that like Hal Elrod, who I mentioned in the chat, does it as well, and many others, is actually a reflection of 10 years ago first. And you go through your life. What did your life look like 10 years ago? What was your life financially, relationship wise? What was your life, professionally? What were you doing for a living? What was money like? What were you feeling? And sometimes that can be a really tough process, because sometimes when we look back 10 years, we were actually in a better spot than we are now. Sometimes we're not, or in some areas we're better than we are now and stuff like that. But that's a really important thing, because I think when you do that, you can then reflect on, okay, the last 10 years, like, on how much has actually changed. And then you can start to really allow yourself to think of how much can change. Whether it changed in the last 10 years for good or bad, that's not necessarily the point. It's a point of how much it can change. And then you look forward and go, okay, it can change a lot in the next 10 years. So now I need to lay out, how do I want to do this to make this a positive 10 years, right, and grow from there. So,
well, and I think it's so helpful too, because I think even the things that you might be after right now might change in 10 years, if I look back 10 years ago, right now I have 4 kids. 10 years ago, I had 1 kid. 10 years ago, I had more money in my bank account than I do today. However, today I have 4 amazing kids, and I would not trade that money in my bank account for those 4 kids any day of the week. And now my goals have adjusted and shifted, and that is okay. I still need to have some goals and some aspirations, some things to be going after, but it's also okay to sit back and reflect and say, am I still after the same things? And to realign and shift, and then keep going full steam ahead, but always have those aspirations to get better and to grow and to reflect in it. So I think you can have those 10-year visions, as long as you're okay to reflect and refine and continue to adjust course along the way.
Absolutely. And I actually believe that you should be doing that every year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, every year at some point this year, actually, it'll probably happen more like midway through 21 that I'll look at this 10-year vision and adjust. And it's not about, oh, have I done what I was supposed to do this year? It's, do I still want what I envisioned here? Because things change, things happen, right? Yeah. I am with Megan. Megan is wondering, where's the flying cars? Because I thought for sure we'd be there by now too, and it's just not. It just hasn't happened. So,
well, a funny story. By 2024, they'll have some. I was just watching this thing on YouTube just last week, because YouTube is like the holy grail. There's this company in Japan that has made a flying car, and they're going to convert it to taxis by 2022, and then in 2024, you're going to be able to start buying them. So be on the lookout. It's basically a drone that you can fit in. Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Now, I mean, there's a little bit of hope, because we are currently watching, flying reindeer with a sleigh. So, like, how far behind can cars really be? So, all right. So let's talk about the traps. So,
okay.
We got some Merry Christmases coming in here. So, Merry Christmas to you, Joe, as well. Merry Christmas, Kristen. And Megan said there are some. She says like 4 different models of flying cars already going on. So that's interesting. So let's talk about, we talked about this yesterday a little bit, but your kids set up Santa traps.
Yeah.
Have you seen them? Or are they doing that right now? Are you aware of what traps are being set up? Like, are you able to give us like some ideas of some of the cool ones? You mentioned some pretty cool ones yesterday, but like,
yeah. So I'm gonna try to say this, but I also know that parents, some of you might have your kids watching Santa flying here right now. So let me try to tell you how I have approached this. And I might be speaking cryptically. Hopefully you'll understand what I'm saying. So the first strap, go ahead. The first strap my kids always want to, let me go back. The goal for the Santa traps is so that my kids can prove his very existence. They want to make sure that they know it beyond a shadow of a doubt that he exists. They want to be able to prove it to all their friends, their family, like to everybody. That's their goal. It is not to hold him hostage for ransom or anything like that. But I say it, but every single year, the trap that they're most excited to set is lighting the fireplace. And I have to remind them that is not our goal. And they want to light the fireplace to try to make him have to come in some other way to our house. But I tell them that's not going to work because he won't realize it until he hits the bottom. So the fireplace is not lit. We actually, this year, my 8-year-old, my soon to be 8-year-old, wanted me to climb up on the roof and have a bunch of lights pointing to the chimney saying, "Enter here." I was like, "No, I'm not going to do that, buddy." But I digress. So once Santa gets into the house, they have a bunch of phones, Chromebooks, MacBooks, and things set up all over the house because they have motion detectors on their cameras. So they tell me. Okay. My 15-year-old really helps us with that. So in the morning, there will be some actual footage of Santa at various places around the house, which is amazing. There's a great app that can help you capture these pictures. It's a cool app called Photoshop. So you can download that on your phones and it helps you capture that. So download the Photoshop app. We have flour, like FLOUR flour, literally all over the kitchen floor right now, with cookies and eggnog and milk on our little kitchen island because Santa needs his goodies. So they will capture footprints of Santa walking through the flour. They have a bunch of rope spider webby things to try to get him stuck and caught just so that he hangs out a little bit longer, attached to some jingle bells so that they can actually hear him when he arrives in the middle of the night. So we'll see how it goes. Every single year it's a little bit different. We always capture some amazing pictures of him. My son is great with the technology, so the photos are always there, but my kids have never once seen him in person. This might be the year though. We'll see.
This is that's a lot of fun. We don't go to that measure. My kids do have they've already got they got cookies out, and they have candy canes out for the reindeer. And what's fun is there's like 3 cookies and like 9 or 10 or 15 different. There's like just a pile of candy canes. And then my 6-year-old, my daughter Jacqueline, wrote a really nice, heartfelt thank you note to Santa Claus for everything he does for everybody. And for the fact that this year is different, but he's still getting it done. And something about how no one can be as good as he is to everyone, and he does it for every boy and girl. And something about, and just thank you. And then she's signed her name, Jack. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's breaking my heart.
Amazing.
She's adorable. So that was cute. So they're ready to go. I hear them. I think they're moving to the bedrooms now, getting ready to crash. So.
Can I ask you, what kind of cookies does Santa enjoy in Ohio?
Tonight he's getting I think they just put out the sugar cookies. So
that's awesome. Okay.
Jacqueline made with Amy's mom, my mother-in-law, they made sugar cookies. So just basic like sugar cookies with some cinnamon sugar. I don't know if they did some cookies with my mom. They did the cutouts, decorated, but I'm not sure if they put those out for Santa or not. There's a good chance I'll have one even if they are now, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, I heard through the grapevine that Santa's a huge fan of Buckeyes, so I may have requested that Santa get some Buckeyes left out for him with some egg. So we'll see how that goes.
So here's the crazy thing: my daughter just despises peanut butter. Like what? If I eat peanut butter, she she made it on the other side of the house. She's like, "Dad, come on." And I'm like, I didn't open it yet. And so, they'll never make Buckeyes there. And I'm not going to put the time in making them. my mom actually normally makes them, every year. I don't think she's doing this year just because, people are coming over and stuff. But she normally makes really good Buckeyes. But yeah, so I asked her, I'm like, did you make Buckeyes with Grandma? She's like, what are Buckeyes? I explained it to her. She's like, no, gross. I'm like, oh, come on. Get out of here. She hates peanut butter, but she loves pickles. I don't get it. So it sounds like Kristen had a close call. And then she says she thinks she successfully diverted it, but it sounds like Megan didn't have quite the same result, and the tooth fairy was the downfall. Oh, that's rough. 2 in a row like that. That's tough. How old, Megan? Curious.
I still don't get it.
You don't have to get it.
Okay.
Brianne, good to see you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas Eve to you. So I'm excited. So tomorrow, obviously, going to be a big mess in your house when you wake up.
Oh my God!
Kids, early risers. Are you up and at it very early?
Yeah. So normally I'm the first one up. Every 364 days out of the year, I'm the first one up. Tomorrow I will fail. No matter what time I wake up, they will beat me to the punch. I started off when I had one kid. My oldest is 5 years older than any of the others. Very strict rules. You don't go to the tree until daddy's awake. I don't want you shaking things. I gave up that ghost now. Now I've got 4 kids. They outnumber me. By the time I go downstairs to the tree, everything is in piles. It's been shaken. They've already put them in piles by the order they want to open them. Whatever. They do their own thing. As long as they wait for me to actually open them, I'm good. So
I told them no touching anything until Daddy has coffee in his hand this year. And Jack looks at me and goes, "That's never been the rule before, Dad." I'm like, "Yeah, but it is this year." She's like, "No, it's never been the rule before." I'm like, "All right, I guess I don't get to do that." So I'll probably be up before them anyway. So we'll see. So Megan, so he's 10. So Megan's son is 10. That's that you're right on the edge there. So that's tough. I'm right there. My son's 9, and we're like,
yeah,
it's getting there.
I'm
really worried that.
And a 10-year-old.
What's that?
Yeah, I've got a 15-year-old and a 10-year-old that help me set the traps, and then I've got a soon-to-be 8 and a 5-year-old that the traps are really there for. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So. Yep. Gotcha. So, well, that's awesome. I'm excited to hopefully maybe see some pictures of the traps and see how things are going. So I'm excited to just watch social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything, and just see all the pictures that come in of people celebrating, if you are celebrating and stuff. And we're keeping a nice quiet day tomorrow and just hanging out, which is what we do anyway. And it's going to be a good time. I'm excited about it. I'm going to be watching Santa for the rest of the night here. It looks like he's in Bermuda right now. There's a little over 5 billion gifts delivered, which is incredible. That's he's cooking. The kids are trying to guess how fast he was going.
Well, I think it's super impressive. So if you zoom in, you do see that Santa's wearing the mask, and something that I was reminded of today.
Yeah, if I zoom in, you can see this, right?
Yeah. Yep.
There he is.
The elves had to make all of the toys socially distant this year. Think about that. They were working in the toy factory 6 feet apart from each other. And they're still made more than 5 billion toys. That is super impressive.
So something I noticed is that Rudolph is here, and something that I figured out just recently. I'm actually surprised I never looked into before, but I don't know if you ever noticed that there's so many movies about Santa that don't have Rudolph in them.
Yeah.
Do you know why that is?
I'm guessing it's a copyright issue.
It's because he's newer. Yeah, well, because Santa and the other reindeer all fall into public domain because after 75 years after the death of the copyright holder, it opens up. Rudolph's still owned by a corporation. He's owned by the Rudolph. Now the Rudolph Corporation, and it's actually I don't know what it is, but I guess it's actually pretty expensive, which you could imagine.
I'm wondering how much are you going to have to pay the corporation for just saying that name right now? That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, nothing, because I'm not making any money off it.
Okay,
it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. They can't do anything to me for saying it. It's actually a common thing. There was a show I was watching once, and they were like doing the whole happy birthday thing, and they're like, "You can't sing that." I'm like, "That's not how that works. If you're not making money off it, doesn't matter. It's not copyright infringement." Anyway, that's a whole other story. But yeah, I was just happy. I'm like, "Oh, look, Santa's got a mask on. He's got Rudolph leading them." I really like the NORAD because when you see all the little cameras, when you click on that, it's like different parts of the world. All right, so we were like clicking through like some of these, some of the names that we didn't recognize. The kids were like, "Where's that at?" I'm like, "Well, let's check it out and see it and stuff." So it's
Can you throw Brad Hughes' comment up there?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm gonna give everyone a minute just to read it and just enjoy it, just take it in, just celebrate Brad Hughes for a minute. It does take a lot of elf control. That's very, very true. He was quick on that. So that's good stuff. Anyway, so we're gonna wrap up because I know you got stuff to do. I gotta go and assist getting the kids down and make sure everything's all set there. Everyone who's watching, I hope you know how much we appreciate you. The chat was awesome tonight. I was so happy that I got to moderate and just got so much from it. I'm going to go back and read more because I can't read it all while it's happening. But so really appreciate you jumping in the chat. Really, really appreciate you being here with us right now, chiming in, having some fun. I hope you have if you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah to you. If you celebrate anything else that I'm not thinking of, I hope you have just happy holidays and a great new year. We will be live for 12 hours on Tuesday, the 29th, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Time all the way to 8 p.m. Eastern time. People dropping in all throughout the day, giving a bunch of prizes away, having a lot of fun. So I hope you jump in and jump in the comments and watch and learn and connect with all these people that are going to be on with us. That's really one of the primary reasons we do it, is because we want to get a bunch of faces and names and like Twitter handles on screen so that people can learn and connect and grow. And then we like to give stuff away too, so that's fun too. But it's all about just connecting people and highlighting more voices and faces and stuff. So appreciate everyone. Megan does say she wonders if the elves behave like middle school kids. So that'd be a good comparison, good test. Although most elves are actually pretty old, so you'd think they'd be a little I guess depending on what movie you watch, right? Like a lot of movies they have them, they're actually like really, really old, so they're actually very mature. Unless you watch like the Christmas Chronicles, then they can get a little crazy. Anyway, moving on. I digress. Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas to you. We'll see you on the 29th live for 12 hours straight. Dave, I appreciate it, brother. Love the jammies. Love the hat. Good luck with the traps. And Merry Christmas, everyone.
I'm about to go be Joe Pesci and hightail it and see what I can do. Yeah.
All right. We'll see y'all.